What food to grow in Africa? Let's talk about it. I'm sure by now you must have heard about all the great opportunities about agriculture, food and arable land all across the continent. And now you want to get into that space. However, one of the first questions you will face is, what should you grow? Or maybe you already started growing something and now you're second guessing yourself because every time you hear left and right about this produce being good, this fruit is good, this crop is very profitable, and then you're thinking like, did I make the right decision, or should I switch, or what should I go about doing? In this video, I'm going to answer that from my experience. Stay tuned. Hey, what's up? My name is Aris and welcome to Diaspora Achievers. In this channel, I take the African diaspora on a journey to building businesses that contribute to the development of the continent, changes the African narrative, and help you gain true freedom. If you're new here and want to be part of this journey, here are your first two steps. Number one, go ahead and click on the subscribe button below this video and click on the notification bell so that you get notified and you never miss out another video I release that will help you build Africa. And number two, go ahead below this video, there's a description section. Go ahead and get your free copy of the notes that we put together for you after every single workshop that we host, where we invite folks from the diaspora who've transitioned to doing business on the continent. So you're interested in growing food on the continent. You are excited about the idea, or securing land, or you have land secured already. Now you're just trying to figure out, in a plethora of options that are available to me, which one should I go for? Let me start off by sharing with you some of the mistakes I've made as I was getting started. The first one is not really a mistake per se, but it's something that I'm not too comfortable with. Here's what it is. So when I was starting out, I secured the land and I hired a sort of a consulting company to help me figure that out. And then what they basically said was that instead of, you have two options. The first one is basically, because it was large lands, a couple of hectares or dozens of hectares. So what we're basically saying was that you want to chop down all the trees and then do sort of sample of the soil and know what are the characteristics of your soil to trying to figure out what to grow. Now, I didn't have the financial capacity to sort of do all of that work. So he said, hey, if you cannot do that, then the easiest thing to do really is to go and take a look at what your neighbors are growing, right? And based on that, you would assume or logically say that because whatever they're growing is working well, then the soil is good for that. The one thing I didn't like about it was that it didn't really help me go do something different, right? Because I'm not trying to be or trying to do what they're trying to do. I'm trying to do something different. I have my own vision, but I do understand, I do appreciate that, you sort of become a copycat and the rationale behind it. So in my mind, that's one of the mistakes that I could have made if I had listened, if I didn't have plans or if I wasn't sure what to do. I just wanted to jump in. The second mistake I wanted to talk to you about came really from a good intention, right? A good friend of mine basically reached out to me and said, hey, there is this amazing opportunity in the maize/corn space whereby if you're able to produce a lot of it, international organizations are going to come and they're going to literally buy all of your yield, all of your production before it's even ready, right? So I jumped into that space. I was like, hey, this is good because he has sold it, or his family or something have grown it, and then boom, I was like, let me try and do that. So I basically secured the land, I bought all the seeds and started doing that. But I quickly realized that maintenance, like you need to maintain it, you need to make sure that you know how to protect your farm, essentially your field rather, with products that are safe, not just for the corn, but also for the person working there, because there's a lot of insects and stuff like that. It gets attacked, right? So that's one side I did ignore. So the end result was not really what I expected. And for the small portion that we were able to get, another problem came up, storage, right? Because it was really fresh and we really lost it in a matter of days, right? Or weeks, if I remember correctly, because you didn't think about how to store it, how to take care of it and everything. So that's another issue that you really have to think about, not just what to grow, but what it takes in terms of maintaining it, make sure that the production is good, as well as how you're going to sell it. You're going to sell it fresh, or you're going to do something about it before you sell it. So based on those experiences, now here are my 5 criteria. Number 1, I need to figure out what exactly is on hot demand in a country, because when you go to the market, you see a lot of stuff left and right. You're not quite sure. And I realized that, the logical way to figure out what the country needs is look at what the country imports. So I went to the trade balance for agriculture, and I saw plenty of items that we're importing. We import a lot of stuff. So that was the first area, the first criteria. Look at the trade balance that will literally tell me what exactly is being imported. So out of that list, the second criteria was to look at what are the requirements for those items in terms of land size, the type of land, or the temperature. For example, grapes, if I want to get into grapes, there's certain altitude that I needed to consider. So I looked into that too, right? So I knew where my land was, and I was trying to figure out, okay, what are the criteria for the different products? So then again, you kind of weed out or filter out a few elements based on that second criteria. The third one was, once that's done, I looked at what kind of investment are we looking at doing from a machinery standpoint, equipment standpoint. Is this something that we need a heavy duty machine to buy, to make, or to import? How much capital is required? So then again, I started reducing my my list, right? Narrowing it down. And then the fourth criteria is really one that was quite important. It was really around skill set, right? What kind of skill set is required here? So if you're trying to grow, for example, to sell pepper, right? To grow and sell pepper, the skill set is different from cassava. Cassava is pretty straightforward. Everybody kind of knows how to, for the most part, how to grow it and how to maintain it. It's probably it's a little bit lower maintenance versus tomato, for example. And then the fifth criteria, which for me was really important, is to look at processing opportunities. So I wanted to focus on a crop that gives me the opportunity to transform it, to turn that into something else, maybe jams, maybe chips, maybe hash, whatever the case may be, right? I didn't want to only have one option. For example, palm oil that I'm working on is pretty much not endless, but there are a lot of processing opportunity. You can turn that in so many different products, and you can sell it, you can eat it, you can turn it into so many different things. So that's my fifth criteria. So there you go. Those are my 5 criteria for thinking about or deciding what to grow for my farm in Africa. If you think there's something else I should consider or we should consider, please go ahead and leave it in the comment section below. Let me know what your criteria are not considered with my process and my criteria. Once again, thank you for your time. Thanks for watching it. Go ahead and like this video just to indicate to YouTube that we need more content for the diaspora. Peace.